to order. It's October 6th, 2020. And as chairman of the Budget Review Committee, I find that due to the state of emergency declared by the governor as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, and in accordance with the governor's emergency order number 12 pursuant to Executive Order 2020-04, this public body is authorized to meet electronically. Please note that there is no physical location to observe and listen contemporaneously to this meeting, which was authorized pursuant to the governor's emergency order. However, in accordance with the emergency order, I am confirming that we are providing public access to the meeting by telephone with additional access possibilities by video or other electronic means. To access Zoom, please refer to the agenda or the city's website for the meeting link. If you're joined by phone, dial 1-929-205-6099. The meeting ID is 874-0065-0849, and the passcode is 988380. The public may also view the meeting via channel 16. We had previously given notice to the public of the necessary information for accessing the meeting through public postings. Instructions have also been provided on the City of Nashua's website at www.nashuanh.gov and publicly noticed at City Hall and the Nashua Public Library. If anyone has a problem accessing the meeting via phone or channel 16, please call 603-821-2049 and they will help you connect. In the event that the public is unable to access the meeting via the methods mentioned above, the meeting will be adjourned and rescheduled. Please note that all votes that are taken during the meeting shall be done by roll call vote. So let's start the meeting by taking a roll call attendance. Each member states their presence. Please also state whether there is anyone in the room with you during the meeting, which is required under the right to know law. Alderman O'Brien, would you please call the roll?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Alderman at Large, Shoshana Kelly. Alderman at Large, Michael O'Brien is present. Alderman at Large, Laurie Wilshire.
I am present. I can hear you and I am in the room alone, social distancing.
And that would be ditto for me too. I forgot to mention it. Thank you. Alderman Ernest Jetty.
I'm here. I can hear the proceedings and I'm staying safer at home with my wife.
Thank you. Alderman Jan Schmidt.
I am present and I am alone in the room.
Alderman at Large Ben Clemens.
Yes, I am here. I can hear everyone, and I am at home alone.
Alderman Dowd.
Yes, I can hear everyone. I'm here alone practicing social distancing.
Also in attendance is the mayor, Aldermans Klee, Lou, and Cleaver. Is there any alderman I did not mention?
Gathright.
Okay, thank you. Alderman Gathright. Mr. Chairman, we have 6 members present.
Thank you. We have a quorum. First order of business is public comment. Is there anyone from the public that would like to comment on anything on the agenda for this evening? Seeing no one. Communications?
There is none.
Unfinished business?
There is none.
New business resolutions?
There are none.
New business ordinances?
There is none.
I'll now entertain a motion to take. We did have it's not tabled. We have a resolution. It's R 20076.
Mhm.
Alderman O'Brien, would you please read the resolution?
Yes. Thank you. Well, before us this evening is R-20-076.
I'm sorry. I guess it was on the table, so we need a motion to take it from the table.
Thank you.
My mistake.
No problem, Mr. Chairman. We got you. I would like to make a motion to take from the table R 20-076 by roll call.
Yes. Please call the roll.
Thank you. Alderman Clemmons,
Yes.
Alderman Schmidt,
Yes.
Alderman Jettie,
Yes.
Alderman Wilshire,
Yes.
Alderman O'Brien votes yes. Alderman Dowd,
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion carried. So R 20-076 is taken from the table. Alderman O'Brien, would you read the resolution?
Thank you. Before us this evening is R 20-076, authorizing an energy performance contract and leasing finance agreement. Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion to recommend final passage by roll call.
Okay, the motion on the floor is to recommend final passage of R 20-076. Is there anyone that would like to make a comment or ask a question about this? Alderman Clemmons.
Thank you,
Alderman
Mr. Chairman.
Wilshire.
Thank you. So I have a few questions. The first question I have is how long is this lease for, and what happens at the end of it?
Mr. Donovan or Mr. Smith, who wants to answer that?
It's Mr. Donovan. It's a 20-year lease. And then at the end, we own the equipment. It'll be 20-year-old equipment, but 20-year-old lights will still work.
Okay. A couple follow-ups, if I would, is so you mentioned, Mr. Donovan, that the way this is going to work is it's going to offset your budget. Can you explain that a little bit more in detail?
Sure. When the work is done, so it's getting to that perfect point, but when the work is done, let's just say that's at the end of a fiscal year. We will, going forward, see a savings in that year of $460,000, $230,000 at each of the high schools. So what we will do is we will go to our energy budget in the 2 high schools, reduce that amount by $230,000, and then put in a cost for payment of principal and interest of, I believe it's about $220,000. So basically, within the operating budget, we'll show at the beginning of that budget year a $10,000 savings, which we'd probably budget on another line. But that's how it will work. So had we, we did discuss a bond on this, but if there was a bond, there would be principal and interest costs outside of the school's operating budget. The payment of this lease and the savings will offset each other within the school's operating budget.
May I continue?
Alderman Clemmons, follow up?
Yeah, so my only concern is I want to make sure that the school department gets the money and that it doesn't lapse or go into the general fund. So if it's $10,000 or if it's more than $10,000, it would be nice to see the school department and I don't think it would happen this year, but the end of the next, so not this July, but the following July, see that savings in your account. Is there anything that's been discussed about that with the mayor or anyone to make sure that that saving stays in the school department?
Well, I can say that I agree with you that whatever is realized should accrue to the benefit of the schools. I mean, for the city side, it's a cost neutral situation. The budget, I would look at whatever their budget is now and then think about what increase we could afford or what we need. And this was a school department developed project. We want to work closely with the schools on this and other projects, but this was definitely a school department developed project, and really the net result should, in my opinion, accrue to, go to the schools.
If I could continue, we should look into codifying that somehow. I know we have special accounts, revenue accounts. I don't know how it would work though, 'cause it's not really a revenue, it's a savings. But we have accounts that lapse from year to year. It'd be good to see if we could set something like that up that moves forward regardless of who the administration is, or, we want to make sure that you're getting that money. And at least in my opinion, I have no problem with the contract or with the lease. It sounds like it's a great deal, especially if we're guaranteed to save that money. Again, my only priority is, boards of aldermen change, administrations change. I'd like to make sure that for this 20-year lease, you guys get to keep that guaranteed savings. And so I'll work with the mayor and corporate counsel to see if we can somehow codify that.
Yeah, just a couple things real quick. However much revenue they have, the budget process will be as it always is. But the more important part of this isn't the budget, it's the energy savings, and the reducing the carbon footprint is huge. And we have many other ways of saving costs associated with the schools, including the solar that's going on many of the schools right now as we speak. So I would suggest that we keep that type of activity separate from tonight's passing of this particular contract. Alderman
If I
Clemens?
could- Yeah, I agree with you. It is sort of it is obviously it's a separate thing, but I just wanted to put it out there that for me, yes, obviously it is very good. I think that green projects are the wave of the future. They just make more sense. They tend to be more economical. But when they can save money, I'd like to see the people that put the effort forth see that savings. So, but yeah, I can see where your point. It's unrelated to the contract, but I have no problem with the contract. I think it's a good thing. That was my only.
Thank you. It's hard to believe our high schools are 18 plus years old. I mean, it seems like we just built them 5 years ago, but I'm excited to see that they're going to go all LED there. And, I'd like to thank everyone who's been working for 3.5 years to get this to this point. I think it's important for us to do, and I will be supporting it. Thank you.
Anyone else? Alderman Clee?
Thank you very much. I'm not on your committee, but I do truly support this. I just had a real quick question. I don't think it was asked or answered. We talked about the $460,000 savings, and at a cost of $450,000 for the lease. And if it went below the 460, the lease would go down. Is this 460,000 we expect it to be at least every year? And if the lease goes down because we don't say 460, do we have an idea on a 1-to-1 ratio how far it goes down? I mean, will we always have a $10,000 buffer, at least a $10,000 buffer, or is that? I don't know if I'm asking the question right, but.
Who from the school department wants to answer that?
All right, well, sure, to sort of clarify, it's not that the lease will go down. What will happen is if we don't get the savings, EEI will give us a check. So in effect, we could use that check to pay the lease, but the lease itself will stay the same. There's an amortization schedule in the documents. So that's kind of the mechanics of how the monies will work. Will savings get higher than the 460? I mean, Mr. Smith spoke to that earlier. This company wouldn't be in business very long if they guaranteed you savings and then you couldn't reach those savings. They would then have to be forking out money every single year. So just sort of a basic sense that, and they've done many of these projects, and I think Mike, Dave, you can speak to it, but I don't think they've ever had to cut a check. Is that correct, Mike?
Yeah, that's correct. Just to kind of give a little more background on that, we've been working with the city of Manchester on doing these types of projects since 2013, and we've so far always come in ahead of our savings. And same thing in Portsmouth, where we've done similar projects with the city and the school.
Okay, thank you. So just for clarification, the lease is 450,000, at least for whatever the life of the contract is under that. I know things change as time goes on, but that's what we're saying that it is, and then we're hoping for the 460. If we don't get the 460, then a check gets cut. Is that to make us whole so that we're not paying? Is that the way that works?
Yeah, the guarantee is up to the lease payment. So if for some reason you only save 430,000, we would be responsible for the delta.
Okay, and I appreciate that. And truthfully, I'm very energy conscious, so I like the idea that we're going LED and so on. I think that's the most important takeaway from all of this. So thank you so much.
I think that in having been working on the periphery of this contract for quite a while, all the estimates are conservative. So is very well could happen that the savings will be much greater. Any other questions? Alderman Lou.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What would be the cost to buy these lightings?
I think the idea, and I'll defer to Sean, do you want to cover that?
Sure. In the investment grade audit that the EEI did, they indicated the cost for installed LED lighting. The South High School would be about 1.3 million, and at the North High School, 1.4 million. And then there's 10 energy conservation measures, of which LED lighting is one of them. For each of those, we have a cost. And so you add up all those costs, and that's basically what the total lease cost is. I would note, and nobody's even mentioned this yet, but given my huge deferred maintenance budget, we would not otherwise be able to achieve any of this. So that's a big, very big thing for us. Of course, we love to save money as well and reduce our footprint, but we're getting upgrades to a lot of equipment that otherwise would not have happened.
Does that answer your question? Alderman Lou?
You're on mute.
If I can just ask a clarifying question.
Okay.
So did you say the lights and the other savings would be purchased at about 1.3 and 1.4? Or is that just the lighting?
That was just the lighting.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I think the total project cost is about, capital is about 7.4 or 7.3 million.
Yes.
And there are rebates which will come from public service. So the actual net cost will be about 6.7 million. I think that's the correct number.
So I go out on a limb here and say that if we had to do it on our own, there would be the cost of installing this equipment, and which would require bonding and no guarantees on the equipment. This company can buy all this equipment at a reduced price because they're buying in volume and they guarantee the equipment. So it's been looked at 9 ways to Sunday, and there's no way that we could touch this internally. Any follow-up, Alderman Lou?
Just, is there a calculated or assumed interest rate that was associated with the lease, the lease program?
Interest rate on whose behalf?
I think the interest rate is is it 3.7%?
Ms. Brown?
I believe so. If you look in the packet that was sent out with today's meeting invite, all that information is in there, including the cost per line for each section. Like it's more than just an LED project. It's weatherization, controls. A lot of stuff is getting done that wouldn't be able to be done otherwise, but that percent is in there, as well as an annual finance statement. So it'll tell you how much the principal is going down each year.
Just to follow up, please clarify. I don't think.
I'm sorry, I missed your question.
No, I didn't ask a question. I just wanted to. I don't believe that. I think that maybe only the committee got today's packet. Because I don't know what packet you're referring to.
It went out with a meeting notice.
Oh, okay.
Everyone.
So it wasn't today.
I think it went out again today. I think it's gone out a couple times, actually.
All right. So just to clarify, because Alderman Dowd, you asked me what I was referring to. I just want to have Doria Brown confirm that this is what she was referring to with 3.7. I was just wondering what most leases have an inferred interest rate that is being applied to the use of the what you're leasing. And is that what you're referring to as 3.7%, Ms. Brown?
Just if this is Mike, if I didn't jump in, it's actually 3.15 in the packet is the rate, 3.15.
I'm scrolling through the packet right now to confirm.
Sorry, I got it too high. They've given us a better deal than I thought.
So
what that means is that basically someone is lending, and the reason you, the Board of Aldermen, need to approve this is someone is lending us. That's the financing company. There is, in essence, I mean, it's expressed in terms of a lease, but in essence, the financing company is lending the money to build the project, and then we're paying them back in so-called lease payments over a period of years. And we've just learned that the interest rate on that effective borrowing is 3.15%.
Thank you. I had my question answered. Thank you.
All right.
And it's on page 112 of the packet if you're looking for it.
Alderman Clements, did you have a question?
Yeah, just a question on, is there any, and forgive me because I didn't get the chance to go through the packet either. Was there a warranty? What's the warranty on some of these products, or what's the guarantee on them?
So it varies because there's a few different products in this package. I would tell you that there's a 1-year warranty minimum on all parts and labor. The light fixtures have a 5-year material warranty in addition to that 1-year parts and labor. And however, the expected useful life of these LED products in a school environment is 25 years. We've been converting all of the schools in Manchester and have had just a very small handful of warranty claims since the process started there in 2013. So we haven't had a significant amount of warranty issues, these LED products. And I know the city of Nashua did the streetlights LED as well, which have a similar warranty.
All set, Alderman. Follow-up, Alderman Clemmons?
Yeah, no, I just want to say 3.15%, having one company be able to come in, do all of this work, plus the guaranteed savings that the school department's going to get. It's a really good deal for the city of Nashua. Could we bond it for a little bit less? Maybe. But then you got to hire all the contractors to go in and do the individual work. You got to find people to do that, put it out to bid. This is the way to go. Great job, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, this work will be done fairly soon after this is final approval at the full board meeting. And this company will be responsible making sure that all of it's done quickly, because the savings in the first year is important to them as well as us. We would never be able to get this done in a year or in the same time frame. Because if Sean doesn't have that kind of staff, he has a hard time keeping up with his work now based on what he was just talking about, his deferred maintenance money. So this is definitely the way to go. Any other questions or concerns from anybody on the board? No one? Seeing none, would the clerk please call the roll?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Alderman Clemmons,
Yes.
Alderman Schmidt,
Yes.
Alderman Jettie,
Yes.
Alderman Wilshire,
Yes.
Alderman O'Brien votes yes. Alderman Dowd.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, 6 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion carries and it'll be sent to the full board. Next item on the agenda is general discussion. Oh, for those that are jumping off that were with us for comments from the companies and stuff, thank you very much.
Thank you.
General discussion, does anyone has anything for general discussion? Seeing none. Anyone for public comment? Seeing no one. Remarks by Alderman. I just want to say this has been a long time in the process, and it was for a number of different reasons, none the least of which would be COVID. And I think this is going to be huge for energy savings for the city. The fact that we also make money on it is a plus up. And like I said, I think all of the estimates have been conservative, so I would expect that we'll probably see better numbers. Anyone else for aldermanic comment? Seeing none, no reason for a non-public. Alderman O'Brien.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to make a motion to adjourn by roll call.
Motion is to adjourn by roll call. Would you please call the roll?
Alderman Clemmons,
Yes.
Alderman Schmidt,
Yes.
Alderman Jettie,
Yes.
Alderman Wilshire,
Yes.
Alderman O'Brien votes yes. Alderman Dowd.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, 6 yeas, 0 nays.
Okay, motion carries. And before I adjourn, I just want to let everybody know that the Charlotte Avenue project is moving ahead smartly and will be done by the end of October. So it will not affect that polling place, other than the fact that there'll be new sidewalks and new parking areas and a number of other things. So it's going along well. All right, so we're adjourned at 7:59 p.m.